Good evening. It's really hard to follow all these incredible speakers and individuals that I really respect so much. I'm here tonight, and it's really a great honor to present Kiran Nadar with this year's Asia Society Game Changer Award. Let me begin by saying that Kiran Nadar has single-handedly taken India, an entire art world, by storm. In fact, to call her a force of nature would be an understatement. Kiran is what every country needs, particularly in regions like South Asia, in cultures like my own country, Iran, where there is little to no support for any form of art. Her unwavering conviction to make modern and contemporary art central to her country's identity is both inspiring and revolutionary. In a nation as vast and complex as India, her belief that culture must stand alongside progress and not behind it is nothing short of transformative. And in the bigger global art landscape, long dominated by Western narratives, Kiran has dismantled such a myth. She has become a vital anchor, a fierce advocate for Indian art and artists. What I personally admire most about her, and what gives me a lot of hope, is that Kiran Nadar has resisted to let art to be reduced as a form of commodity or the privilege for a few. In her own words, she said, "Art is anything but elitist, and unless the average person becomes interested, art will remain elitist. My aim is to keep it for everyone." Her journey began as a deeply personal passion, collecting art that moved her, that filled her with joy. But what started as a private passion and devotion soon pushed beyond her home's walls into the public arena. In 2010, she founded the Kiran Nadar Museum of Modern Art, India's first private museum, a groundbreaking institution that has since transformed and enriched this country's cultural landscape. Through her vision, generosity, and courage, Kiran Nadar has given India not only a museum, but a living legacy. In the months ahead, the years ahead, we will witness the opening of yet an expanded Kiran Nadar Museum of Modern Art, a vast undertaking of over 100,000 square meters, housing the largest museum in the world, housing a collection now that includes over 15,000 work of art. Today, the Kiran Nadar Museum and its collection are no longer limited to Indian artists alone, but encompass a myriad of emerging and internationally celebrated artists, making it one of the most significant institutions and collections in the world. Yes, I am blessed to be in that collection. I must admit that I came to know Kiran Nadar only recently, yet the connection and the friendship was instant. It's so rare to encounter a patron of art with such humility, warmth, and most importantly, a genuine curiosity to grasp an artist's intention and process. And that's how I felt when she came with her colleagues to my studio not so long ago. Finally, my friends, the title Game Changer could not be more fitting in describing who Kiran Nadar is, what she has already accomplished, and what she continues to set in motion.
Good evening, everybody. I have to say, I'm overwhelmed with the kind of enthusiasm that I have received from Asia Society. In talking a little bit about what I have tried to achieve, I never learned art. I never really knew very much. But my first experience with seeing and getting involved with art started in around the 1991, 92. And I decided that I was going to start getting art for our home that we were in the process of building. And within 2005, I had collected about 600 works of art. And that was just more as an interest and loving what I was collecting. Within the next 4 or 5 years, that was around 2009, 2010, I decided I was going to do something more meaningful with this art and therefore get people who knew very much about what was really happening, the sort of more or less more uneducated, the people in India who needed to learn about art. And so therefore, I was going to put this 500 works into a museum. I really knew nothing about what a museum meant, but in 2009, we set up the Kiran Nadar Museum of Art, which is now 15 years and growing. We started off with a small museum space, about 1,500 square feet, a little less maybe. And today, we are starting our new space for the museum, which is going to be about 1,200,000 square feet. This is a purely philanthropic journey, and it is devoted to showing art across the world, but in sort of more emphasis on the Indian art works, because they were the ones that I felt needed to be seen and people understood. I have to say, in this period of time, we have grown. I have learned a lot myself. But what I want to say is that an organization like Asia Society has contributed a great deal to this journey. I have known of Asia Society and my association from the time that I think about 20 years ago, when I was really not that involved with art myself. But Vishakha I got to know, and through Vishakha I learned a little more. And from there on, I have been involved with Asia Society. Today, I have been a member of the Asia Society India with various members who have been there. Inakshi is part of our board, and I am involved with the board since the last 7 or 8 years. I've learned a lot, and I think this is a great period for Indian art to grow and to show what it means to make art from the subcontinent and from Asia and the other areas where Indian art is of importance come into the firmament of art. Art is very important, not just as something we see, but to see the importance that this brings to our habitats. It is very important to have this, the two sides of this world linked together and produce works that are going to show the other side of the world how we contribute and how we would enjoy their contribution. So I would like to say that I would love to have our association with Asia Society grow into more meaningful exchange, and we hope that we will take it a long way forward. I would like to thank the Asia Society sincerely for all the help that I have had from them. I would also like to thank Shirin, who has been a phenomenal, I got to know her well only a few years ago, but we have developed a one-on-one equation, which has shown how important it is to have two spheres of one organization contribute to one another. So I'd like to thank other realms of art across the world, also in India, of course, who contribute to each other's passion and show this devotion. Thank you very much for this, and thank you very much.